That's where you're at, it's chapter 33?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
On inconstancy of heart and the directing of our final intention to God. Christ, my child, do not trust your present affections, for they quickly change from one to another. As long as you live, your moods will change, even though you do not will it. Sometimes you are happy, at other times sad. Now you are at peace, then you are upset. At one time devout, at another spiritually dry. Sometimes full of vigor, and other times sluggish. One day elated, the next day gloomy. But those who are wise and who have been well instructed in the spiritual life rise above these changing moods, ignoring their inner feelings and on what side of the wind of instability blows, so long as the direction of their souls advances toward their desired goal. Thus they can remain stable and unshaken through many changing events, always directing their intention toward me.
So this is kind of an important point, that we stay constant. I mean, God will give you that peace. My peace I give you. And so even when things are going on in our life, and I mean, we've all had it, where it seems like, highs and lows and craziness and everything else, God will give you that stability. Because you realize, in the end, you realize all this is passing, right? It is all passing. This is all temporary. And we're kind of being tested on how we're going to be reacting. And so we should have this stability. And so even when our moods, there's chemical stuff going on too in us. Even when that's happening, we should be praying for the peace of God to dwell in us so that we can be constant. And I think that happens also, there's a bit of maturity that happens as you get closer to God, because there's that sense that we know that this is all passing. This world is passing away. We're on a journey to somewhere else.
The purer your intention is, the greater will be your constancy in weathering these diverse storms. But in many, this pure intention is soon dimmed, for they are quick to look for the delightful things which cross their path. It is rare that you will find anyone completely free from the tarnish of self-seeking. So it was with the Jews who came to Bethany to Martha and Mary, not to see Jesus, but in order to see Lazarus, whom he had raised from the dead. Therefore your intention must be purified in order to keep it steadfast and simple, directing it to me despite the various distractions that come between me and you. Chapter 34. The person who loves God delights in him above all things. Disciple, my God and my all, what more can I have and what more can I desire than you? O sweet and delightful word. Sweet to him who loves the word and not the world, nor those things that are in the world. My God and my all. To the one who understands, enough is said, and yet it is pleasing to the one who loves to say it over again. When you are present, Lord, all things bring delight, but when you are absent, all things are dreary. When you come, you bring peace, joy, and gladness, and the heart is at rest. You give us true judgment in all things, and lead us to praise and glorify you in all things. There is no lasting pleasure without you, Lord. But if anything is to be agreeable or pleasant, it can only be with the help of your grace, and it must be seasoned with your wisdom. Will not all be a delight to those to whom you give a gift? But to those who take no delight in you, what else can be agreeable to them? The worldly wise and the sensuous are devoid of your wisdom, for in worldly wisdom is emptiness, and in sensuality is death. Those, therefore, who follow you, Lord, by despising the world and mortifying the flesh, are wise indeed, for they are led from folly to truth, and from the flesh to the Spirit. Souls such as these truly love God and refer to him whatever good is found in creatures. But what a vast difference between the love of the Creator and that of the creature, between eternity and time, between the uncreated light and the reflected light of creation. O everlasting light, surpassing all created light, Send down your bright rays from above to penetrate and illuminate the dark recesses of my heart. Enliven my spirit and all its powers, cleanse it, gladden it, and enlighten it, that it may cling to you in joyous rapture. When will that blessed hour come when you will visit me with the joy of your presence and be to me my all in all? My joy cannot be full until you grant me this. But, sorry to say, my old nature still lives within me. For it is not wholly crucified, not perfectly dead. The flesh still lusts strongly against the spirit, and, waging war within me, does not permit the kingdom of my soul to be in peace.
So I think all humans experience this, right? We're not, I mean, there's a constant battle between, the things of God and the things of the flesh. And St. Paul said that himself. He said, it still wars within me, right? Oh, wretched man that I am, is what Paul said. And this is St. Paul, right? I mean, he, filled with the Holy Spirit, he got knocked off his high horse. He was humble. I mean, he was sacrificed for it so much, but he was honest that as long as we're here on this side, I mean, this is within our nature. It's concupiscence that dwells within us. And so we're not permitted to be totally at peace until we reach heaven, right? We grow closer, but we still have that fallen nature. Even though we're a new creation, it's still, we still have to struggle with that. And that struggle is actually good because we're constantly making choices. Yes, God, no to the flesh, right? Because the flesh leads to death. The things of the Spirit lead to life. That's in Romans 8 also. The things of God, the things of the Spirit are life, but the things of flesh lead to death. And we see that again and again.
But you, who are Lord over the might of the sea and still the motion of its waves, arise and come to my aid. Scatter the warring nations and crush them by your power. I beseech you, Lord, to show the strength of your wonderful works, and let the power of your right hand be glorified. For I have no other hope or refuge but in you, my Lord and my God.
So for 1 second, let's look at this picture, the almighty power of Jesus. Mm-hmm. Jesus entered the room where the dead child was. He took the child by the hand and said to her, "Little girl, I say to you, arise." And immediately the girl, a child of 12, got up and began to walk around. And so here we are. We're coming up to the Feast of All Souls, and we have Jesus' power over death. And he promised that if you believe in me, I will raise you up on the last day. And so this is kind of perfect. It fits right in. You can go, yeah.
Chapter 35, on the lack of security from temptation in this life. Christ, my child, you are never secure in this life. As long as you live, you will always need spiritual weapons. You are in the midst of enemies who may attack from the right hand or the left. If you do not make use of the shield of patience on all occasions, it is certain you will be wounded before long. Moreover, if you do not fix your heart on me with the sincere will to endure all things for my sake, you will be unable to stand up under the heat of battle and will fail to win the palm I reserved for my saints. Therefore, you must bear all courageously, using a strong hand against all that stands in your way. The person who overcomes is fed with the bread from heaven, but to the coward is left much misery. If you seek rest in this life, how can you expect to deserve eternal rest? Do not look for rest here, but for much patience. True peace is found only in heaven, not in the human person nor any other creature, but in God alone. You must be willing to suffer all things gladly for the love of God. Labors, sorrows, temptations, afflictions, all anxieties, needs, infirmities, injuries, detraction, rebukes, all humiliations, confusions, corrections, and contempt.
So hold on a second. That's not the best paragraph. I mean, if you read this, you must be willing to suffer all things gladly for the love of God. I mean, I'm willing to suffer something, but gladly? That's kind of pushing it. Gladly? Labor, sorrows, temptations, afflictions, anxieties, needs, infirmities, injuries, detractions. That's like an attack on your character. Rebukes, humiliations, confusions, corrections, and contempt. Let's pretend we didn't read that paragraph.
That's like everything.
Yeah, I mean, and I think we look at it. I look at something like that. I mean, just being honest as a human, that doesn't sound so great to me, right? I mean, looking at it, it's for the love of God, right? And I do trust that God, if I'm going to be suffering these things, will give me the strength to overcome it. And so there's a bit more that's going on here. I'm not going to throw myself in it, but I do know that if I'm put into these situations, God will help me and strengthen me.
And God allowed it because he knows good will come from it.
Right.
Somehow, some way.
And it may be our testing. It may be me being purified, like gold. I mean, but
Faith that is not tested cannot be trusted. Father Mike Schmitz.
right. So it's still a hard paragraph to read.
It's so hard.
Keep going.
Such things are aids to virtue and test those who are in the service of Christ, preparing them for a heavenly crown. For this short labor I will give an eternal reward, and for passing confusion infinite glory. Do you believe that the spiritual consolations will be yours for the asking? It was not so with my saints. They had many afflictions and various temptations and great desolation as well. But they bore up patiently through it all, trusting in God and not themselves. For they considered the sufferings we presently endure are minuscule in comparison with the glory to be revealed in us.
Now that's just what I mentioned earlier in the last. That's exactly it, Romans 8:18.
Do you expect to have here and now what others just managed to obtain after many tears and great labors? Place your hope in the Lord. Be strong and courageous in your heart, and place your hope in the Lord. Do not despair. Do not give up. But with perseverance offer both body and soul for the glory of God. Your reward will be abundant, and I will be with you in all your tribulations. Chapter 36. Against the vain judgments of humans, Christ. My child, firmly cling to the Lord and do not fear the judgments of humans when your conscience assures you that you seek to be devout and innocent. Consider it a good thing and rejoice when you suffer that way. It will not be burdensome to you if you are humble of heart, nor if you trust more in God than in yourself. A lot of people utter many things, therefore attach little importance to what they say. Neither is it possible to satisfy everybody. St. Paul tried to please everyone in the Lord and became all things to all. Nevertheless, he paid little attention to being judged by humans. He worked for the formation and salvation of others as much as he could and found possible. In spite of all that, he was unable to prevent others from sometimes judging or despising him. Therefore, he committed everything to God, who is all-knowing, and put on the armor of patience and humility against the onslaughts of evil tongues or against those who thought or expressed vain or bad things about him. Sometimes, however, he answered his accusers when his silence might scandalize the weak.
So that's an important point too, is that often, I mean, when you're being accused of certain things, you have to use, wisdom and prudence in each situation. Because if the people are accused of a lot of things, and if they're untrue and it'll be scandalous, then you need to correct it. And they try to say that about Paul too. He's like, yeah, we're trying to say, oh, he's in Corinth. They're saying, oh, he's getting sexual favors, and he's doing this, and he's, they'd accuse him of everything and anything. And he's, he said, no, I've got nothing. I've taken nothing. I've done nothing. And that's good, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to lie about you. Anything to destroy you, because they're working for their father, which is Satan. I think that's important that we, he does answer sometimes, but sometimes he just, you don't have to answer all the stuff, and you don't want to lose your peace over it either. And he wasn't afraid of what what they thought of him. He preached the word in season or out of season, whether it was convenient or inconvenient. That's the way we're called to do it, right? We're called to be Catholic no matter what, so.
Why be afraid of mortals? A human being is here today and gone tomorrow. Keep up a wholesome fear of God, and you will not find it necessary to be afraid of humans. What can others really do against you by words and insults? Those who thus attack you hurt themselves more than you, and wherever they may be, they will not escape God's judgment. Endeavor to walk always in God's presence and refrain from arguments. And if at times you have been overcome and undeservedly suffer confusion, do not be downcast, and do not lessen your future reward by yielding to impatience. But rather look up to me in heaven, for I am able to deliver you from all trouble and injury, and to repay all persons according to their works.
We'll stop there. You're like, that's enough reading. Yeah.